Let's go, let's go, let's go.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Ad Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Let me think.
Let me think.
How about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait.
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that you're not interested in this commission. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and
Port
convince
Ormos.
the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Let's go.
Hey, that's not any better.
The Port Ormos lagi, bro.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Hyman's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the adventurers?
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. Hyman just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. From when she said, Ad Astra Abisask? So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was a happy one. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday. Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait! No! We aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to By the way, have you had a chance
Apa
to
bedanya?
visit Dinyarzad? How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check on her. Yes, I paid her a
Wait, guys,
visit
wait.
right after I woke up.
Ini.
She was resting at the time. condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering.
Oh, Irminsul ini sama kayak penyakit si Kule berarti guys. Penyakit Kule kayak gitu juga, sama kayak si Dan Hazard. Salah satu cara untuk menyembuhkannya dengan cara menyembuhkan Irminsul itu sendiri.
But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what—
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival?
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it some—
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
The Either Eyes.
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But no way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru.
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru I've already tried that, but all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course,
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly.
Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in—
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give them—
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of—
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, then I should find someone who's already involved.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that
Setaria.
female
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Needle.
I've always liked observing. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia.
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime soon after. The star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug she's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her right. We must somehow make her face her that way. Not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also, from my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping, and tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day to prepare. Let's go check out some of her favorite spots.
Okay. Good shit. Tempatnya kan iya nih.
This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the fortune?
No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now.
Talking style?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to—
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have some...
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Menjelek-jelekkan akun Enam. Bertanya apa? Berantem sama akun. Merasa kasihan dengan Dendro. Apalagi habis itu di Fountain. Lagi.
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine. Love prospects? No problem at all.
Let's go.
The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on...
Hah?
On...
Betul anjing.
So
Jangan bilang harem nih, tai. Males sekali
many
aku.
people will fall for you. How could that be? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the Orient... Is that so? Well, if you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit...
Nadia.
Is this another one of Sataria's?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City. So when I start talking with him, listen
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we...
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the adventure?
Speaking of, where...
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay after that I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing some...
So is your father...
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure.
Oh iya.
Time to go.
Ryan.
This should be our final stop. Sitaria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she...
Nahida, you've really thought...
It's my duty to protect Samaria's citizens.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right. I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering.
Kishan.
After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars, and I'm continuing to study and perform
What an admirable spirit.
Sure, but you've...
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the...
Kishan.
So, was that it?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told...
Sitaria is already used to avoiding her problems. So we must find... I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King.
Raja Dashrat.
Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be...
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So,
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sitaria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of... But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very...
so you mean you're going to...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sitaria for sure. She'll never guess that we...
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will...
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing...
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a...
Masuk siang guys. Siapa lagi nih? Kampret. Masuk siang jam 12. Setaria.
Oh, here she comes. Satari's here. Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll let Astra how we'll sway her to our side. I'll leave that to you. Paimon's starting to feel... Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
Cuma cara ngerasukinya bro.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they?
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
Sorry, your new laugh is just so hilarious. I couldn't help it.
Oh, please pay no mind to those kinds of details. The gods are asking. Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Setaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their and if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a second. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry.
Well done. Setaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like...
All I know are some abstract Harabatot theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. Anyway, enough of that.
He's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Huh? Wasn't he nursing a leg injury? If I recall correctly, his strong arms had always been his pride and joy.
He sprained his arm a while back while trying to show off his strength. I thought you'd heard.
Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert. Yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of the Scarlet King?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything.
Restoran.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking.
So, Shishan, have you noticed, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the...
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never...
Jishan, don't tell me that you've converted to the Scarlet...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia, and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects?
Nothing more but experiment subjects.
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matra right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me...
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him, you must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans. And from it. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to...
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of... Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know of...
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zero. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified... However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely... let me see... let's use the most primitive...
The academia entrance. Wouldn't that be...
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
Alright, I trust you.
So, if I were...
that'll depend on the
Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the God of Wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholar. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our son.
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go up.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of Wisdom and Guardian of the Scholars?
No. The truth is the true Guardian of Scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild.
Time to go.
Gelo.
That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the Academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my—
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking.
That's what Paimon thinking.
Anyway, enough about that.
Ah.
Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet.
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case for the entire—
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guards.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go—
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us, Paimon— Huh. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the Academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
Time to go.
Hop. Cinematic, bro.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Wah, gawat nih.
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather
The fucking
spectacular
Todore.
welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the Academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor.
Avenger kedua, Pak.
If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Oh no! What should we do? These are all just regular people!
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
What? That guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here!
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
Apa ya?
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
Wah, Todore tanggal kali anjing.
This should be far enough. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here. let alone such a high-ranking one. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the Academia. They're in cahoots with the Fatui. But what are the Fatui after this time? Another note. Yeah, things would be a lot. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with... Even though he turned it down at the time, he might still... There's no time to lose.
Gandalfa, ya. Gandalfa, Kimai.
Time to go. Time to go.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you, all right. Take a look around. You
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30? Did you...
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders.
The outcast? An outcast from the act? But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you up soon enough.
Anjing, kau bentar kau dibunuh podat.
You're up, traveler!
Tuh, anjing ini aku siksa.
You can't run!
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah!
The wind knows it.
It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements! That was pretty rough. Is that what elite Yeah. Look, but this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an going up against smart people is...
Waduh, takutnya orang ini ngejar. Kan ada lagi kan? Pasukan Eremat nih, Wak.
Time to go. Follow the wind.
Oh, it's the traveler in Pine Hallway. It's nice.
To be honest, I'm not doing too well. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He won't...
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on...
Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the...
He left? But isn't Tainari...
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher, but no. I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. To leave in such a hurry? Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia. And Partis Di is something like the... I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari...
A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what... Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Partis Di.
Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now.
Got it. Will do.
Guys, ntar ya. Kita lanjut lagi nanti bentar ya. Be right back. Pardis Diai.
Time to go.
Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion.
Actually, it's very smart of the traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the dock plus. It's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of sky.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or anything. All I wanted was to clarify my point.
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what happened. Are those poor people all right?
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving information into them. Instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still within my... Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture me.
Whew. What a relief. The doctor
I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time until he can...
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the academia, so it's possible he already started messing with the... Feels like he's toying with us. What a plus! The doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being...
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find...
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's DI?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Did you find any leads?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see what we can find?
Okay. Let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Traveler?
It is you!
Ah! The voice! It's Hypatia!
Ah, what a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
Itu dicasar kan?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the...
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here,
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to... Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and
my consciousness has already managed to make contact.
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime when my consciousness made contact with the gods.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Actually, please wait. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connect.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try, I'll do my best to protect your consciousness during the process.
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneo with me.
Where are you?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your consciousness.
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother.
Mamanya Raiden.
Valuing strength above all. She saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest.
Dibunuh dia.
Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches but how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Alas, shame if only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Periporno life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything... Wait, have I... already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Wah. Anjay. Anjay. Oh, pindah kesadaran. Sadar dengan alasan dia. I see you, katanya. I see fucking you. Ayo kita bunuh dulu nih orang babi ini semua. Loh lah, kok lari? Lalalalalalala.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right after that. Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's body? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Oh no! Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from the alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero's festival. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh, but she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard for us to explain right now.
That's all right. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your sides.
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question.
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its. All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad.
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardis Dii and began. If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanali, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation. The Doctor and the Balladeer. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out.
I'll stay here for now. I still want to. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Carav. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully.
Let's go. Caravan Ribat. Ini baru kita masuk ke explore baru guys ya. Saat harapan ribat.
We finally made it to Caravan Reap. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of great...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Alhaitham.
Huh?
Over here.
Alhaitham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Alhaitham. Betul. Dicari.
What the? Where did he go? How did we lose him?
More Aramite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to...
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes research and these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine... Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ainul Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. So considering that, but that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the divine knowledge capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate.
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well...
It's always better to travel with someone you...
Wah, padang pasir udah. Anjing kok nggak ya aku. Padang pasir brother. Udah saya pernah di situ, Pak. baru. Kepiting bro. Raw meat lah. Ada kepiting bah. Kepitingnya tuh ya. Arrowheads. Scrap.
Time to go.
Damn. Eye of the Sands. Up the road. Gila Pak, ini Sumeru ini besar kali cok. Tapi lebih besar kayak dari Liwe. Monster coba ini monsternya. Dari ini bagian monster juga nih. Ini bukan terakhirnya. Ini serang. Tapi sini ada lagi nanti monster, nggak tahu nih di sini apa.
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something.
Gila. Wah, Cino.
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own
Who is that?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to...
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, if I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two! Ugh! What you would do, Traveler?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these...
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every... Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of our... It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I...
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong.
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Langsung nyerang dong.
Well, this is pretty... Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for...
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, as a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely so please. Have an honest and sincere conversation with one another. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creature.
Oh! On second thought, Paimon...
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got...
That's what I like to hear.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably...
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned. Rather, I've chosen...
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed. I began to realize that they were cautious of me. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission. The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the...
So they were... I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain the vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold. They are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the quest now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra. He somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Alhaitham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating.
Alhaitham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge indeed exists. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sage. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing a... You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been... After all, curiosity often proves to be the most...
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia.
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't...
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler, and I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? sandstorm?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as...
The wind's died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
Kampret ini lagi.
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? Even on...
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated.
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take...
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
First, rebuild judgment!
The wind knows me.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
Fallen leaves, adorn my night into the wind.
The creature stopped appearing. Was that the...
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Wah, ini kepala desa ya mungkin.
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands... I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me...
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time.
I can't say they've always been common. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the...
Another... So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms...
Everyone in Aru village need... speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since...
Village keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the... Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. After a period, the academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days,
I've had encounters with those people.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins?
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so...
Terlalu manis untuk dilupakan. Wait. Wah, banyak kali misi di sini, bros.
Time to go.
Oke. Pelin Gunung Desa Aru. Bel Kacem. Nah, nih. Bel Kacem ya. Entah hal ada yang bisa dibantu. Bel Kacem, Bel Kacem.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the
Itu
same
gua.
things as... Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its The Academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. A mysterious phenomenon. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night. All the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots after that. The people of Aru Village treated the mad scholars with...
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru Village? Well, Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru Village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the Academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha...
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was...
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more... So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali. And in addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and...
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell...
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never... How can this be to think? Our Archon has been amongst us this...
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation. But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa mad?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to...
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are.
Grandpa is just... I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help.
Ah, so you're the one who was I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was.
Whoa. Haven wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to...
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest.
All right. But first...
Penasaran aku, ini buah apa nih? Kampret. Al-Ajilenakhnat. Wah, Anjir enak banget.
Sino is super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought, however, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to one summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to be... So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught them. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or, "Grandpa."
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, it's also my reason for fighting. I must...
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please...
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up! Let's go find...
Really? What? Yeah!
Alright. Let...
Time to go.
Kazan.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing skull...
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms. Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past.
Do you also think Grandpa...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't...
Gotcha! Thank you!
Time to go.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit in.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, the last time I saw him, he was pacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough.
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned...
Wow, what? Okay, thank you.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move. Listen, see,
have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land still. You say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's...
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholar. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared?
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does the...
Exactly. Those city folks were...
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you? Where...
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah, bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes. One wrong move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay?
Okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet...
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will just...
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also...
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't...
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many other. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
I heard.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
Join the Aramites and embrace a wonderful
Kok bisa kayak gitu? Join the Eremite.
Grandpa, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa...
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the thing, but are you okay? Are you getting dizzy? Or...
There's a scent that you can sense, but...
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And...
So...
Huh? You know him too?
Yes. Now that I concentrate...
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you?
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
Time to go.
What are you looking for, Simon?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon?
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey! What's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever...
No. So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that, we'll set off to find the...
Time to go.
Ini baru padang pasir, cok, tuh. Luar biasa. Waduh, cuma ke atas cuy. Pakai apa kita ke atas ini? Gile, temu ke. Kocrot, kocrot.
Time to go.
Dar al-Sifa.
Like lamb to the...
Gila, orang pasirnya. Untung aja nggak ada panasnya. Atau haus dia kan. Panjang, keren, keren, keren. Wah, weathering pula nih. Oke.
Right. The darker fabric definitely.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like
Oh, Dia's here!
You bet. So, everything goes
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that... It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other... Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's...
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place inside...
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive, compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of, but that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the Mad Scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Alright, sounds like a plan!
Caravan Ribat. Oh iya. Sheesh. Bisa dacas, bro.
A fateful offering.
Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
Oh. Alhamdulillah.
Well, here we are again!
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block... It was only after I grew up that I realized. The wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible!
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia.
No, not at all. Besides, we're here to procure information.
Yep, we gotta catch. Shh.
Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find some. Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're here for...
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you...
We've had drinks together a few times. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side.
Yeah. Have you seen Enger, Delavar, or Jabari
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just to...
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days.
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not?
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him.
Time to go.
Betul banget. Virgo ini.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is...
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Zaki.
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little biz?
So you and Delavar have been partners?
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have strong... But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the Academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Enger. You're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traders are what us followers of...
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made...
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds.
Punishment!
One with nature.
Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fight. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Okay, that should be all of it.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away...
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it...
Oh! You mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for them. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impression.
Wow! What a genius idea!
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight...
So, that thing you were saying before...
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The Radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you...
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Wah, gila, panjang kali kok. Gila bro, panjang kali ini film. Bukan film. Ini game panjang betul. Belum lagi ini. Belum lagi ini. Belum lagi ini. Belum lagi ini. Gile tuh muka ya. Oke lah guys, sampai sini dulu. Nanti next lanjut lagi. Thank you guys, goodbye. Oh, mantap ya.